Coach, ladies, thank you very much. Kim, if you could open up with some opening remarks, please.
Yeah, I've said all year that our team is our best when we are playing as a team. We get something from everyone. I think we did that tonight. I think we had fun. It was a really good stepping stone for us. We had been a little bit off track, and so we needed to kind of get our juice back, and I thought we did that tonight. And the next one is going to be a big one.
Okay, we'll open up the floor for questions for our student athletes. Yep, over here to the right.
Jewel, what changed from that first quarter to second quarter offensively?
I thought we were really attacking in transition, getting downhill, and then getting inside-out looks, and our threes were falling. And then I also thought that we made them have to guard multiple actions from side to side, so it made the drives a little bit easier, more open.
Yeah, Steve Hellwagon with Bucknuts.com. I think more offensively, defensively, instead of trading baskets with them in the second quarter, you guys held them to 9 points, outscored them 29-9. What was different defensively for you guys in the second quarter to put the clamps on them? Samara, if you would go first, please.
We just turned our pressure up. We knew coming into the game that, they only really had one solid ball handler who was comfortable handling the ball. So just getting her in the first quarter, we made her turn the ball over some, and then just making other people have to dribble the ball up the court was our advantage, and we just took advantage of that.
Joel, as well.
Yeah, I'd say that we were very locked in on our scout, and everybody was on the same page, so that helped a lot, and our communication was really good.
Joe, I wanted to ask you about Samara. I know you guys just went through, just 2 straight weeks of practice, and Kim's mentioned before that Samara does a really good job of keeping practices light, keeping it fun. Just how would you describe her impact on, helping the team get through these last 2 weeks to be able to kind of reset and come out like you did tonight?
Yeah, I think it's very huge. She's always laughing, joking, so it makes it just so lighthearted and competitive as well in practice. And just today, hearing her on the bench, share that, Joe, it gives me just a little bit of confidence, and I know that she gives my teammates the same amount of confidence as well. And we know how good of a player that she is, so her leadership is really good as well.
Anyone else for questions for the student athletes?
For either one of you, 8 different players made 3-pointers in this game, and I assume that's a big part of your guys' offensive output. Just when you have that many different people capable of connecting at a good percentage from that range, just how difficult does that make it on the opponent to guard that type of attack?
I mean, in my opinion, it's super difficult. We've had to guard people who have multiple people who can shoot, and sometimes we have a hard time doing that. So I know for other people who have to play us, it's really hard, and especially we have a lot of people who shoot very high percentages, especially at this time in the season. So just being able to, if I don't have the shot, being able to kick it to Jewel or kick it to Tess. And then we have a couple other people who can step out and make 3-pointers as well. I think it's just special that, it just shows that we all work hard day in and day out to do that.
Okay, I believe we have a question on our Zoom. Maria, you have the mic.
Thank you. This is Maria Cornelius, 247 Sports, Tennessee. Jewel and Samara, the 16 made threes is obviously a program record for Tennessee in an NCAA tournament game. You both transferred here from other schools, but you're definitely putting your mark on Tennessee. If you could just both talk about the success you've had here and how well this team does shoot from the arc.
I think this team shoots really well behind the arc. I think we proved that, earlier in the season when we set the NCAA record, and, setting another record today was really huge, but it just speaks to, our depth that we have on this team. With me and Sam and Tess, a lot of people know that we can shoot the ball, but we have other people on the team that can shoot the ball as well. And then just being successful here at Tennessee, I think it just goes to say that I have successful people around me that help me be successful, so it just makes it so much easier for me.
Yeah, I would say for me, putting my name in the record books at University of Tennessee is honestly something special. A lot of people can't say that they've done that, but for me to come in here for my first year here and last year playing collegiate basketball and doing that, I think it just is a testimony to, all the years that I've been in college, but doing it at Tennessee is super special.
Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, a question about Ohio State. Not sure where you guys were while that game was unfolding, maybe coming to the building or maybe had it on a monitor in your locker room or whatever, but thoughts about playing them. And as I look at the record here, Joel, you would have, I think, played against them last year. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so just the game, maybe if you saw the game tonight and just your experience, because it's a lot of the same people that you played against.
Yeah, I'd say they're a really good team that likes to press just like us, so we kind of expect it to be up-tempo. They have a lot of big-time players that can make shots and can get to the rim and rebound as well, so we're going to have to, box out and apply pressure.
Anything else for our student athletes? Jules, Samara, thank you very much, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll open up the floor for questions for Coach.
Kim, I'll pose the same question to you. What was that conversation like at the end of the first quarter, and then what did you see change after that quarter?
Yeah, I think our defense, we did turn up our defensive pressure. I think we got in their legs. I mean, they were fresh. I think they shot what did they shoot? I mean, almost 60% in the first quarter. And so I think just pace, wearing them down over time, got in their legs. They started to shoot the ball a little bit short. We turned up our pressure and then kind of took off from there.
Kim, it felt like there was a lot of moments tonight where the team looked like they found their identity again, found kind of like their joy again. Just how would you describe the energy on the court, and how happy are you with the way they look tonight?
I think it was some of the best energy we've had all year. Our energy has been really good all week. So let's see what it's like when we get punched. It's going to be important.
Samara Carpenter, Vol News TVC. What's a message that you would like to give to your girls going into the tournament?
I think the biggest thing we've tried to preach about, and there's been a lot of different things, is just kind of leave with no regrets. We have 8 seniors. We have a lot of people who, when we're done, we're done. And so leave it all out there, have fun, enjoy the moments, but don't let a 50-50 ball or a effort play or not having the resilience to make a mistake and then have the next play mentality. Don't have to live with that for the rest of your life. Just have fun and play as hard as you possibly can in March.
Colin Sherwin, Bay Area Examiner. In your first season, you've put together a roster of 10 players who can all play at this level. Is that something you see long-term for this program? Do you think you'll be able to put 2 full hockey shifts in for the rest of your time? Or is this just because of the way your roster came together, it made more sense to spread the minutes out a little bit more?
No, we're hopeful that this will continue.
My question, obviously, you won the Division II National Championship at Glenville State, so you've had NCAA wins to your credit, but tonight is your first Division I NCAA tournament win. I assume you're going to say it's about your players, but for your coaching career, that's kind of a neat thing to win your first NCAA Division I game. Just your overall thought about that and what it means for your players as well.
Yeah, I think it definitely means a lot for our players. It means a lot for our program. I think the way we did it probably means more than anything. We hadn't been playing very well, and we hadn't really been having fun. And so to do it kind of polar opposite of how we've been playing the last 2 weeks of the regular season was important.
Brianna McKay, the Columbus Dispatch. I know Cooper, since the injury, has been kind of on and off as a starter. Can you just talk about the decision to have her in the starting lineup and how the injury has kind of impacted that?
Yeah, she was phenomenal for us today, coming off the bench. And we don't really pay much attention to starters at all. I don't care. You're going in a minute and a half anyway. So just wanted to bring her off the bench and let her kind of get a feel for the game. And she was efficient. She didn't turn the ball over. She was finding people. I think she had played very, very close to her ceiling today. It was great to see it.
With the three-point shooting tonight, it felt like the team was much more in rhythm than they have been the last few games. Was it the rest? What kind of led to that? And do you feel like they're kind of solidly back in their rhythm?
Yeah, I think it was the rest. I think it was. I've said it. We needed the rest. We needed the break, and then we kind of needed to manage our load a little bit better. And we've just looked a little sharper coming into this tournament, which I knew we needed when we were going into the SEC. I knew we were just kind of gassed. So that break was really big for us.
Kylie Atchison, TVC News. This is some of Edie and Tess's last moments on the court together. Like, what does that thought process for you is, like, I'm going to get them in, I'm going to get them to play together. Like, what is that for you?
Yeah, I didn't even cross my mind about getting them in together, but I mean, Edie has been such a big part of this program, and just giving her her moments. She's a fan favorite and a team favorite, and so anytime she gets it, everyone is screaming for her to shoot it, and she just is a positive light every single day in practice, and she's probably the most competitive player I've ever coached. And she doesn't get a whole lot of minutes, but I mean, every day in practice, she is trying to just cheat so she can win, and it's great. It makes everyone better.
Sylvia Varpor, you touched on Talasia a little bit, but plus 36, box plus minus. What does that say about the impact she had tonight?
Yeah, it was big. She made everyone around her better. She guarded, she talked, she got rebounds, she was efficient. It's what we need from her going forward.
How big is the performance that Z gave you tonight, especially with how important she'll be through the rest of March Madness?
Yeah, it was good as well. I knew that if we had an advantage today, it was going to be on the inside. And so she did a really good job of just finding her spots to the rim. She did a better job of playing next play. I think she missed her first 2 shots at the rim, and she didn't hang her head. She didn't pout. She just kept going forward, which is progress.
Maria, on the Zoom, you've got the microphone.
Yes, Coach, you closed the gap on the rebounding. You out-rebounded them in the second half. I know it started out probably not in your liking, but Alyssa Latham, just her overall game, she ended up with 4 rebounds. It felt like more. She just seems like she is all over the court right now. Just how well is she doing right now with her stat line tonight, too?
Yeah, I think she played the hardest for us tonight, and we give out awards, and she got that. She was up pressuring. She's our best out-of-area rebounder, and so she was going to get it. And if she was, you're right, if she wasn't actually coming away with a rebound on the stat sheet, she was getting a deflection or a hand on it, and we're going to need that from her for every single game we play for the remainder of the year.
Maria, you good?
Yeah, one more quick question. Same thing about the three-point record. The record was actually set against Oral Roberts with 12 made three-pointers. That was a time when Candace Parker played. I know you're not surprised when your team made threes, but is it kind of cool to set a new record for made threes in an NCAA tournament in your first one with your team here for Tennessee?
Yeah, I mean, it just feels good to see the ball go in again. It feels like such a long time since we've shot that well from 3 and we've been that efficient. I really think we needed that.
All right, folks, we'll wrap it up. Coach, thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, guys.